Hi, this is Trevor from TSW Pedals. Today I'm going to do a video, and this isn't going to be a pedal demo video. This is going to be a tutorial video, hopefully that is helpful to just about every guitarist on how to implement the rudiments of music or music theory as it relates to the guitar, and why it even matters or why it could even help you. So the first concept I want to talk about is the circle of fifths. The circle of fifths is what's represented here. I already pre-drew it just because my drawing is terrible and I wanted to make sure it was perfect. But what the circle of fifths tells you is basically what the major keys, in the major keys, what notes will be sharp, what notes will be flat. In the minor keys, what notes will be sharp and what notes will be flat. And the way that the circle of fifths is constructed is if we start in the center of the circle at the top at C major, and that triangle stands for major. That's just like a musical notation to denote major. If we start at C major and we go 5 notes from C in this direction, we're going to end up at G because we're going to move in fifths. That's where the circle of fifths gets its name. So C, D, E, F, G is 5 notes. Okay? That's how I arrived at G as the next destination in the circle of fifths. Now, if I move in this direction, I'm going to move in fourths. So let's count it again. C, D, E, F. That's 4 notes. C, D, E, F. So moving in this direction, we're moving in fourths. You know, why do they call it the circle of fifths? I guess because, you know, clockwise is more dominant than counterclockwise. I don't know. But anyway, that's the way that it works. So when we move in this direction, when we move in fifths, the circle of fifths can help us figure out the order of sharps for any given key. When we move in this direction in fourths, the circle of fifths, now we're moving in fourths, but in fourths, moving this direction, the circle of fifths can help us to see what the order of flats are going to be for any given major or minor key. Okay, so let's break this down. The key of C major has no sharps or flats. No sharps, no flats. All right, so if I play a C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, you would hear that I didn't say sharp and I didn't say flat because all of those notes are neither sharp nor flat, right? Well, if I move to the next note in the circle of fifths, moving in fifths, and I go to G, which is, yet again, 5 notes up, C, D, E, F, G. That's how I landed on a G. There's going to be one note that will be sharp. And that note that's going to be sharp has to do with the order of sharps. And the way to remember the order of sharps is fuzzy cats get dirty after every bath. It's just what I was taught. Okay? So fuzzy cats get dirty after every bath. So when I get to G major, my first sharp, and the only sharp in the key of G major, is going to be F sharp. So let's go through that. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. All right? So moving in this direction, we have 1 sharp. Now we're going to go to the key of D major, which will have 2 sharps, F and C sharp. Let's do that one, okay? So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. All right, so there was my F sharp and my C sharp in the key of D major. All right. Now, if we move in this direction, it will give us the order of flats. The way that you remember the order of flats is bead gets crushed flat. That's the way that the flats will appear. All right? So in the key of C major, yet again, no sharps, no flats, but if I'm going to move in fourths, when I get to F major, I'm going to have 1 flat, and that 1 flat is going to be B flat. and that 1 flat is going to be B flat. So let's take an F major scale. I can pick it up, let's say here. All right. So F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. All right. So the B flat is the only flat in the key of F major. When I go to B flat major, I'm going to have 2 flats, B flat and E flat. When I get to E flat major, I'm going to have 3 flats, B flat, E flat, and A flat. Okay. So the circle of fifths will help you to determine which notes are going to be sharp or flat for a given major or minor key. All right. Now, let's talk about when we get into this area of the circle. Okay, where you see I've written G flat and I've written D flat, right? So a common question would be, all right, well, when I get into G flat, if I'm counting this way, right, and I go 1 sharp, 2 sharps, 3 sharps, 4 sharps, 5 sharps, 6 sharps, are you telling me in the key of G flat that I'm going to have 6 sharps? How is that even possible? I'm in a flat key. Why would I have 6 sharps? Well, it's because G flat is also an F sharp, right? They're enharmonic equivalents, meaning I can look at from F to F sharp is 1/2 step up. From G to G flat is 1/2 step backwards, but it's the same note. So F sharp and G flat are the same. So if I look at this as an F sharp or F sharp major, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so F sharp major is going to have 6 sharps. What are they going to be? F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, and E sharp in the key of F sharp major. Now conversely, if I were to look at it in the key of G flat major, it's going to have how many flats? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. 6 flats. But because I'm calling it G flat major, those flats will be represented in the order of flats, and there's going to be 6 of them. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and C flat. So it just I guess depends on how you name the scale, when it could either be a flat or a sharp. And that will give you the order of how many sharps there's going to be based upon where we are in the circle. And the order of sharps or the order of flats are based upon the memorization of the order of sharps and the order of flats. Now, if we look at the inside of the circle, this will give us our relative minor keys for any given major key. So, yet again, I said in the key of C major, there's no sharps or flats, right? Well, guess what? In the key of A minor, there's no sharps or flats. And how do I get from relative major to relative minor, right? Well, the 6th degree, the 6th note of any major scale will give you the relative minor. So if I'm playing C major, and here we go, C, D, E, F, G, A is the relative minor of C major, all right? Because it's the 6th degree. And I'll explain this in later videos of how to construct a major scale, what the intervals are, and how to use the modes to determine in quarterly what notes will be major, what chords will be major, or what chords might be minor. But for the purposes of what we're doing now, just remember that when you get to the 6th note of any major key, that 6th note will represent the relative minor. Let's do it in the key of G major, right? So G, G, A, B, C, D, E. So the relative minor of G major is E minor. Now, just like G major had one sharp, which was F sharp, E minor has one sharp, and it is F sharp. So if I were to play an straight E minor scale, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. So in the key of E minor, I have one sharp and it's F sharp. Okay. So this is a good way, and it applies this way as well. So if we're talking about F major, and I go 6 notes up from an F major, I'm going to hit a D. So the relative minor of F major is D minor. I'm going to have one flat in the key of either F major or D minor, and that one flat is going to be a B flat. So the circle of fifths is a good way to determine your order of flats, your order of sharps for any given major or minor key. I hope this helps. I also use the circle of fifths as a training tool. Now, when I use it in fourths, okay? I don't want to confuse you, but that's just how I use it. So it helps me to train myself in learning different chords. So if I was playing major chords and I wanted to teach somebody so that they would be able to move up and down the neck, I would use the circle of fifths to do it. So let's say for major chords, I would start with a C major, right? Go in an F major, B flat major, E flat major, A flat major, D flat major, G flat major, B major, E major, A major, D major, G major, C major. Now we could do that for minor, right? So same thing, minor chords. C minor, F minor, B flat minor, E flat minor, A flat minor, D flat minor, G flat minor, B minor, E minor, A minor, D minor, G minor, C minor. This is just a good way to recognize what the notes are on the neck using the circle of fifths. All right? So I hope this helps. There's going to be more videos to come. This is a lot to absorb in one video, but I hope it helps. All right. Thanks so much.